Welcome to AffairsCloud. My name is Vikas Rana. We are one-stop solution for current affairs. You can find Crack Current Affairs course on our application exclusively for current affairs, where you will get daily, weekly, monthly content on regular basis. Use the code Vikas10 and get 10% additional discount while purchasing the course. Also, students, follow us on Telegram and Instagram. The link for the same are mentioned in our description. This video has both English and Hindi. The first part is English and second part is Hindi. Timestamps are mentioned in the description below.
Let's start. The first question is, which Indian state recently achieved 100% literacy rate under the Ullas scheme, right, as announced during its statehood celebration in May 2025? So it is Kerala, it is Goa state that has achieved the 100% literacy under Ullas. What is Ullas scheme? It is understanding for lifelong learning for all in society. Right, and this was announced during the 39th statehood day celebration that was on 30th of May 2025. Next, identify the airport in India that ranked 10th in the Hub Connectivity Index released by Airport Council International, Asia Pacific and Middle East in May 2025. So, which or identify that Indian airport, name that Indian airport. The airport here is Indira Gandhi International Airport of New Delhi. It was ranked 10th in Hub Connectivity Index. Right, take a note of this. Then next thing, remember, this Hub Connectivity Index was released by Airport Council International. And can you tell me which is the airport that secured the first position here? It is Dubai International Airport. Dubai International Airport secured the first position here, and DXB is the code. Next, in May, Louis Philippe Montenegro Cardoso de Moraes Esteves was appointed as the Prime Minister of where? He was appointed as the Prime Minister of Portugal. Next, mention the organization with which DRDO has signed a licensing agreement for transfer of technology for the Pinaka multi-barrel rocket launcher and the battery command post in May 2025. It is NIBE Limited. Next is in May, China National Space Administration launched the Taiwan 2 spacecraft, a robotic probe from the Shenzhen Satellite Launch Center, China, as a part of its mission to retrieve samples from which type of asteroid? It is Pristine. Next, name the initiative that was launched by the Department of Post in May to create a unified digital addressing system across India. So, what is the initiative? It is Dhruva, that is Digital Hub for Reference and Unique Virtual Address. Next, which of the two countries were elected as the presidency of the United Nations Human Settlements Program, that is UN Habitat General Assembly for 25-29 term, that is from 2025 to 2029 term? It is Malaysia and UAE. So only A and C, right? These are the two countries elected as the presidency of the United Nations Habitat General Assembly for 2025 to 2029 term. And this is the first time in 15 years that Malaysia is having a leadership position in the UN body. Next, in May, India conducted the annual bilateral military exercise that was called Nomadic Elephant. This Nomadic Elephant is conducted with Maldives. This is conducted with Mongolia. Take a note of it. Right? Nomadic Elephant. And this is the 17th edition of this exercise. Then next is identify the organization that launched Climate Risk Information System in May to address climate-related data gaps and promote sustainable finance. It is RBI, Reserve Bank of India. Next, in May, Ashish Pandey and Kalyan Kumar, right, they were recommended as the Managing Director and CEO of Union Bank of India and Central Bank of India, respectively. Next, name India's first indigenously developed government-funded artificial intelligence-based multimodal multi-model large language model that was launched by the Ministry of Science and Technology in June to support 22 Indian languages. So name the India's first indigenously developed government funded AI based LLM. So it is Bharat Jan. This will revolutionize the AI development across linguistic and cultural spectrum in India. Next is Opal Sucheta Chungsri, right? She is from Thailand, right? And she has been crowned as the Miss World 25 at the 72nd edition of the Miss World pageant that was held in Hyderabad, Telangana. Next, Annalena Baerbock was elected as the president of which organization in June, succeeding Philemon Yang? So it was of United Nations General Assembly. This was the Annalena Baerbock became the president of the 80th session of United Nations General Assembly, right? And during this session only she was selected with 167 votes out of 188 seats. She will start her office on 9th of September 2025 and she succeeded Philemon Yang, the former Prime Minister of Cameroon, and also she became the 5th woman overall to lead the United Nations General Assembly. Next, who won the F1 Armaco Grand, that is your Spanish Grand Prix held in Barcelona, Spain? So Barcelona or this Spanish Grand Prix was won by Oscar Piastri. He is from UK and he drives for McLaren, right? Next, Australian all-rounder Glenn Maxwell. So Glenn Maxwell has announced retirement from ODI, bringing an end to a distinguished 13-year-old career. He has been part of two World Cup winning squads of Australia in ICC Men's Cricket World Cup in 2015 and 2023. So right option here becomes option 4. Next, which two global companies' low Earth orbit satellites constellations are expected to support India's defense sector with faster and more reliable communication as announced in May 2025? So which two global companies' low Earth orbit satellite constellations are expected to support India? It is OneWeb and SpaceX. OneWeb is of UK and SpaceX is of Elon Musk of USA. Nicaragua recently became 101st member to officially approve the agreement on fisheries subsidies of World Trade Organization, right? With this milestone, WTO is poised to roll out fisheries funding mechanism, commonly referred to as WTO Fish Fund. Next, as per RBI data released in June, Dash accounted for the longest or largest share of total bank deposits at 59.5% in FY25. So as per RBI data released in June, term deposits, right, they accounted for the largest share of the total bank deposit, because we are seeing that people are not investing money in fixed deposits or not keeping in bank, rather they want to earn money and they want to invest the money in the stock market, right, which is also a different case scenario. Next is name the organization that in June 25 projected India's GDP growth for FY26 at 6.3% in their economic outlook of 25. Issue 1 titled Tracking Uncertainty Reviving Growth. Which is this organization we are talking about? It is OECD, Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development. This is the organization. They have released this data economic outlook 2025 issue 1 tackling uncertainty and reviving growth, in which they are projecting India to grow by 6.3% in FY26. Next is mention the name of the person elected as the 14th president of the Republic of Korea in June 24, succeeding Yoon Suk Yeol. So Lee Jeon Suk, I correct, not this, Lee Jeon Myung, right, is the 14th president of South Korea, and he succeeded Yoon Suk Yeol. Next, in May, ACC Appointments Committee of the Cabinet approved the extension of Swaroop Kumar Shah's tenure as MD and CEO of which public sector bank? So, Swaroop Kumar Shah has been appointed as the MD and CEO of Punjab and Sindh Bank. Next, identify the correct statement regarding the IPL 2025 whose final was held at the Narendra Modi Stadium in Ahmedabad, Gujarat. If we look at the options here, option A and B are only right. That is, Royal Challengers Bangalore secured their first ever IPL victory by defeating Punjab Kings in the final, and Sai Sudarshan won the orange cap. Correct? C is wrong here, right? That means Surya Kumar won the Emerging Player of the Season award with the prize money of 10 lakh rupees. No. So who has won the Emerging Player of the Season award? It was won by Sai Sudarshan, right? And he is from Gujarat Titans. Correct? Take a note of this. And he is also the person who won the orange cap. That is, orange cap is for the most runs. Orange cap is for the most number of runs, right? Most number of wickets, it is purple cap. Next, which country hosted the 39th COSPAS SARSAT, that is Space System for the Search of Vessels in Distress, Search and Rescue Satellite Aided Tracking Joint Committee meeting for the first time on 27th of May. So which country hosted it? It was hosted by UAE, United Arab Emirates. Next, mention the Indian university that recently developed the India's first gene-edited sheep in May using the CRISPR-Cas9 gene editing technology. It is Sher-e-Kashmir University of Agriculture, Science and Technology.
Next, during a 3-day visit of the President of Prague, Santiago Pena, to India in June, Union Minister for External Affairs Dr. S. Jaishankar and Ruben Ramirez, the Minister of the Foreign Affairs of Prague, they have signed a memorandum of understanding that will be establishing a joint commission mechanism. And also remember, this here, he was on a visit to India, correct? And his visit was also held at great significance as both India and Prague commemorated the 64th anniversary of the establishment of the diplomatic relation between the two countries. Next, which two wetlands in Rajasthan were newly designated as the Ramsar sites as announced by Union Minister for Environment, Forest and Climate Change Bhupendra Yadav? So, which two wetlands? They are Khichan and Manar. Right? These are the two wetlands that have been declared as the Ramsar sites. Now we see Rajasthan, it has a total of 4 Ramsar sites, and with this India has a total number of 91 Ramsar sites, that is the highest in Asia and third globally. Highest is in UK with 175 Ramsar sites and Mexico on second position with 142 Ramsar sites, and India is on the third position now. Next, India won the presidency of Dash, a global administrative body for 2025 to 2028. So India has won the presidency of International Institute of Administrative Sciences, IIAS. This is for the term 2025 to 2028. Next, in June, United Nations General Assembly elected 5 countries as the non-permanent members of United Nations Security Council 2026-2027 term. Which of the following was not among them? And they will be here for the 2 years. Right? Among the following, if we see, Norway is not among them, Latvia, Liberia, Colombia, Bahrain. Right? And these are the countries that were elected here, right, as the non-permanent members of the United Nations Security Council. Correct? And these countries will be replacing Algeria, Guyana, Sierra Leone, South Korea, and Slovenia. Next, one more add here, Democratic Republic of Congo, the 5th one, instead of Norway. Next is identify the mutual fund company that launched India's first index fund tracking Bombay Stock Exchange 1000 total return index in June 2025. It is Motilal Oswal Mutual Fund. What is the revised minimum land requirement in hectares for setting up semiconductor manufacturing unit in multi-model SEZ as per the Special Economic Zones Amendment Rules of 2025 as notified by the Ministry of Commerce and Industry in June? So what is the revised minimum land requirement? It is 4 hectares of land minimum requirement for setting up this SEZ. Setting up semiconductor manufacturing unit in the multi-product SEZ. Next, India was elected as one of the 18 new member nations to the United Nations Economic and Social Council by United Nations General Assembly for the term 2026 to 2028. Next, India secured which rank in the Climate Change Performance Index 25, topped by Denmark at the 4th position with the first 3 positions remaining
vacant. So India secured which position? India secured 10th position here with right, and in this climate change performance index, and it was topped by Denmark at the 4th position. Correct, I repeat. So India at the 10th position, topped by Denmark, right? Take a note of this. Next, why 4th position? Because the first 3 position, it is said that there were no countries that are performing up to the level that is required to make sure that our climate is safe. Next, financial technology company Wise, formerly known as TransferWise, received in principle approval from RBI to operate in which category for export transactions? It is payment gateway or payment aggregator cross border, not payment gateway, payment aggregator cross border. What is payment aggregator cross border and what is simply payment aggregator? Payment aggregator is when you can receive the money or send money to the merchants within India, and cross border is when within the different countries also around the globe you will be able to send and receive payment through the merchants. Next, Central Bank of India completed the acquisition of dash equity stake in Future Generali India Life Insurance Company for a cash consideration of 57 crore rupees as a part of insolvency process. So CBI completed the acquisition of 25.18% equity stake in Future Generali India Life Insurance Company for a cash consideration of 57 crore rupees as a part of insolvency process. Next, identify the organization that along with Dassault Aviation SA signed 4 production transfer agreements to manufacture the fuselage of Rafale fighter aircraft in India for both Indian market and global exports. It is Tata Advanced Systems Limited, and this marks the first time that Rafale fuselage will be produced outside France, that is in India, and this will boost Make in India and Atmanirbhar Bharat initiatives. Next, which organization will be awarded with the ISO 22301 2019 certification? It is British Standards Institution. Next, what is the rank of India in the worldwide prevalence of sickle cell disease? That is second. Right, this is the rank of India in the worldwide prevalence of sickle cell disease. Identify the portal jointly inaugurated by Union Minister for Commerce and Industry Piyush Goyal and our Union Ministers for State for Ayush Pratap Rao Jadhav in May to facilitate the investment in the Ayush sector. So name that platform. It is Ayush Nivesh Sarthi. This is the platform that was inaugurated to attract investment in the Ayush sector. Right, that will further promote research and development here. Next, who inaugurated India's first commercially approved utility scale 20 megawatt by 40 megawatt hour battery storage system, that is BESS, in South Delhi in May. So this was inaugurated by Delhi Power Minister Ashish Sood. This project was developed by New Delhi based BSES Rajdhani Power Limited, that is a joint venture between Reliance Infrastructure Limited and the government of New Delhi. Next, which industrial park located in Odisha was inducted into the World Economic Forum's Transitioning Industrial Cluster Initiative in June to promote green industrialization and decarbonization in India? So which industrial park located in Odisha? It is Gopalpur Industrial Park that was located in Odisha, was inducted into the World Economic Forum's Transitioning Industrial Cluster Initiative. This basically Transitioning Industrial Cluster Initiative that was launched at COP 26 in 2021, the aim of which was to accelerate the development of the clean energy infrastructure globally. Next, in June, Dash launched the environmental, social and governance ratings for the listed companies with an aim to enhance the innovation in sustainable finance. So in June, National Stock Exchange Sustainability, right, they have launched this ESG rating for listed companies with an aim that will enhance the innovation in the sustainable finance. Next, mention the e-commerce company that received NBFC license from RBI, authorizing the company to offer loans, credits directly to the customers. It is Flipkart. Flipkart is owned by Walmart. right? So they recently got the NBFC license, non-NBFC license, not non-NBFC, NBFC license, non-banking finance company license. Next, identify the correct statement regarding the Norway Chess 2025, an annual international chess tournament held in Norway from 26th of May to 6th of June. If we look at the correct options here, option A is right and C is right, B is wrong. It is saying that D. Gukesh from India has won the Norway chess title in open section category. Is it correct? No, it is Magnus Carlsen that is one, right? Not D. Gukesh, but Magnus Carlsen, who is the world's number one chess player, has won the Norway chess title in the open section category. Moving on. Next, identify the Indian cricketer who announced his retirement from all the forms of professional cricket in June 2025. So, Piyush Chawla. Next, name the former president of Zambia who passed away at the age of 68 in June. So, Edgar Chagwa Lungu, right? He recently passed away. He was the former president of Zambia. Next, mention the organization with which AU Small Finance Bank collaborated to undertake a comprehensive climate risk advisory program that aligns with the international best practices and changing regulatory expectations. So mention that organization. It is International Finance Corporation, IFC. It is a arm of it is a part of World Bank Group only. Next, UN World Oceans Day, annually observed on 8th of June to raise awareness about human impacts on ocean and foster a global conservation movement to promote sustainable ocean management. What is the theme here of this World Oceans Day observed on 8th of June? Theme being wonder sustaining what sustains us. Next, the joint maritime exercise between European Union Naval Force and the Indian Navy took place in Dash from 26th of May to 1st of June 2025. So this joint maritime exercise between European Union Naval Force and the Indian Navy took part in Indian Ocean region. Right? Take a note of it. Next, who among the following won the women's single final of the Indonesia Open held in Jakarta, Indonesia? So N.C. Young, right, has won the women's singles final of the Indonesia Open held in Jakarta, Indonesia. N.C. Young, she is from which country? N.C. Young is from South Africa. Next, and here only students, if asked about men's single title, who won the men's single title? So Anders Antonsen, right? He is from Denmark and he has won the men's single title. Next, and one more thing, if asked which edition of Indonesia Open was this, it was the 43rd edition of Indonesia Open. Next, identify the country that won the UEFA National League's title by defeating Spain in the finals. So it is Portugal that defeated Spain in the finals by 5-3. This is a football edition, right? That is your UEFA football event, and this was the fourth edition of the tournament that was held from September 24 to June 25th, and it is Portugal that defeated Spain in the finals. Next is mention the company that was announced as the founding partner of the LA 28 Olympic Games in June 2025. So Honda Motor Corps, right? It is the company that was announced as the fourth partner of the LA Los Angeles 2028 Olympic Games. Right? Next, which of the following stock exchanges is not among the top 5 in the world by market capitalization as of 2025? So it is London Stock Exchange of UK. Next, in June, Goa's Ozofeni secured the GI tag. Pick out the correct statement regarding to it. If we look at the option here, option A and B are right, C is wrong. C is saying that the GI registration is valid for 5 years from the date of registration and it is non-renewable. So remember, the registration of this GI tag is valid for the next 10 years from the date of registration, and it can be renewed, right? That means it is not renewable. It can be renewed from time to time for a further period of 10 years. Next, Union Minister of Finance Nirmala Sitharaman chaired the 6th Governing Council meeting of the National Investment and Infrastructure Fund in June. Which of the following NIIF's fund were reviewed during the meeting? So, if we see here, which funds were reviewed here? So, all of these funds were reviewed here. Next, which of the following are the official languages of Union Territory of Ladakh as per the Ladakh Official Languages Resolution promulgated by the President of India Draupadi Murmu ma'am in June 2025? Among the following, all are there. Next, mention the foreign bank that recently became the first to list green bonds worth Sri Lankan rupee 2.5 billion on the NSE India International Exchange at GIFT City, Gujarat. So, which is that foreign bank? It is DFCC Bank PLC that recently became the first to list green bonds worth 2.5 billion Sri Lankan rupees on the National Stock Exchange, International Exchange. Next, 7 ICE international cricketers, 5 men and 2 women were inducted into the ICC Hall of Fame in the class of 2024, and identify the name of the Indian cricketer inducted in this ceremony. So, if we see here the Indians that were inducted here, so Mahendra Singh Dhoni, take a note of this, very important, was inducted here from India. And with this, the total number of ICC Hall of Fame inductees reaches 122. Next, mention the name of Indian squash player who won 2 honors at the Professional Squash Association Award 2024-25 held in Birmingham in England. So, Anahat Singh, right? India's number 1 women squash player. She's 17 years of age and has won the 2 honors. That is, she won the Women's Challenger Player of the Season and Women's Young Player of the Season award. Next, who has been appointed as the part-time member of the 16th Finance Commission by the President of India Draupadi Murmu following the resignation of Ajay Narayan. So, T. Ravi Shankar has been appointed as the part-time member of the 16th Finance Commission. Next, name the organization that appointed Sudarshan Venu as its new chairman and managing director. So, TVS Motor Company Limited appointed Sudarshan Venu as their new chairman and managing director. He will be succeeding Sir Rolf Speth. Next, in June, Dash announced its plan to launch India's first thinking data compute satellite and AI powered orbiter using the small satellite launch vehicle of ISRO by September 2025. It is TM2 Space Technologies Private Limited. It is Hyderabad, Telangana based, and its plan is to launch India's first thinking data compute satellite and AI powered satellite. Where will India's first electronic waste eco park, important question, will be set up with a capital investment of 150 crore rupees and an operational budget of 325 crore rupees. So this will be set up in this electronic eco park or electronic waste eco park will be established in Holombi Kala in North Delhi. And also India ranks 3rd largest producer of electronic waste globally, generating almost 1.6 million metric tons of this waste annually. Next, what is the India's rank in the 19th edition of the Global Gender Gap Report released by World Economic Forum? So, India, what is the rank of India here in this index? The 19th edition of Global Gender Gap released by World Economic Forum. This is your homework, students. I need to see maximum participation here. Moving on, next is in June, which mutual fund company launched the India's first exchange traded fund tracking the Nifty India Internet Index, aiming to invest in internet first businesses across sectors such as e-commerce, fintech and digital payments. Question asked is, which mutual fund company? Tell me, what is the name of that company? It is Grow Mutual Fund, and they Grow recently they are also planning to launch their own IPO. Next, mention the urban cooperative bank that recently received the scheduled bank status from RBI, becoming the 50th cooperative bank in India to receive this recognition. It is Vishwaswara Shakari Bank Limited, right? And it is based in Pune, Maharashtra. Next, which country appointed Bollywood actor Katrina Kaif as their global tourism ambassador to boost the country's global tourism appeal ahead of the summer season? So, for Maldives, Katrina Kaif was appointed as their brand ambassador. Next is name the international airport situated in Ahmedabad, Gujarat. So Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel International Airport, right, that is situated in Ahmedabad, Gujarat, correct, is the international airport. Next, in June, India serving as the vice president participated in the second session of the council meeting of International Organization for Marine Aids to Navigation, an intergovernmental organization responsible for marine aids to navigation, that is IALA. What is this IALA? It is International Organization for Marine Aids to Navigation, and India actively participated in the second session here that was held in Nice, France. Next, who among the following was recently in June 2025 awarded the Commander of the Order of the British Empire for exceptional leadership in the retail and consumer sector? It is Lena Nair. Next, identify the person reappointed as the MD and CEO of CSB Bank Limited for a 3-year term starting from 15th of September. So, identify that person, Pralay Mondal. Next, in June, Reliance Industries Limited sold a 3.5 crore share, that is how much percent stake in Asian Paints to SBI Mutual Fund. So, Asian Paints sold this stake, or basically Reliance Industries Limited sold their stake in Asian Paints, to whom it was sold to SBI Mutual Fund. This was sold for 7,703 crore rupees via open market transaction. So what was this percent stake that contains 3.5 crore shares? This is 3.64% stake here. Next, mention the name of the vertical takeoff and landing unmanned aerial vehicle that successfully trailed by Solar Defense and Aerospace Limited in Pokhran, Rajasthan. So this was tested here. It is Rudrastra. Next, former Chief Minister of Gujarat Vijay Ram Nikhalbhai Rupani died in an Air India flight crash, that is AI-171. This is the name of the flight that crashed in Ahmedabad recently, which was a very sad news, students. Right? In this, former Chief Minister of Gujarat Vijay Ram Nikhalbhai Ramani was there. So he served as the Dash Chief Minister of Gujarat. He was the 16th Chief Minister of Gujarat who recently passed away. The Indian Army participated in the 22nd edition of the United Nations mandated multinational military exercise Conquest that was held where? It was held in Mongolia. It was held from 14 to 28th of June. And the important thing is this is the 22nd edition of this Conquest exercise. Location of this exercise is Mongolia, where this exercise was held. From Indian Army, 40 personnel took part in this exercise, right? And it is Kumaon regiment that took part in this exercise. Identify the country defeated by South Africa to win the 23-25 International Cricket Council World Test Championship final held in London, England in June 2025. It is Australia, right? And this was the third edition of the ICC World Test Championship, right? It was held from 16th of June 23 till 14th of June 2024, and it is Australia that has won it, right? Oh, sorry, I correct. South Africa has won it. They defeated Australia in the final. So who won it? It was won by South Africa. Next, who won the 63rd edition of the Canadian Grand Prix held in the Montreal, Canada, marking his first F1 Grand Prix victory of the 2025 season? So George Russell has recently won the Canadian Grand Prix, right? Take a note of this. And here, if we see the overall drivers championship standing, in that George Russell stands at the 4th position. He is from Germany and he drives for Mercedes. Next, what is the theme of the Global Wind Day, the day being observed each year on 15th of June? across the globe to raise awareness about the potential of wind energy in reshaping global energy systems and promoting a sustainable future. It is Day of Community Action. This is the theme here. Right? World Wind Day was first observed in 2007, first time, right? And it is Ministry of New and Renewable Energy that hosted the event here. Next, which two countries qualified the FIFA Men's World Cup 2026 for the first time ever, confirmed during the Asia qualifiers in June 2025? So Uzbekistan and Jordan, these are the two countries that have qualified for the first time for the FIFA Men's World Cup 2026. Next, who was appointed as the President and Managing Director of Dell Technologies Incorporation of India in June 25, succeeding Alok Orai? So, Manish Gupta was appointed as the President and Managing Director for Dell. Next, identify the correct statements regarding the third United Nations Ocean Conference held in Nice, France in June 2025. If we look at the options here, we have to find the correct statement, right? So if we look at the options here, option A is right, that is saying China's Li Junha was appointed as the Secretary General of UNCO3 by the United Nations Secretary General to overall monitor their preparedness. So yes, it is absolutely right. B is saying that B is wrong here and C is wrong, correct? So remember, only the option A is right here. Next is, where was the 113th session of the ILC, International Labour Conference or Parliament of Labour, the highest decision-making body of the International Labour Organization, in which Union Minister Dr. Mansukh Mandviya represented India, held in 2025. So where was this held? This was held in Geneva, Switzerland. So the location was asked here. This conference will create global level standards, review the member countries and also their policies, and address the key issues such as your workers' right, social security and workplace biological hazards that can cause problem. Next, identify the country that joined the BRICS as the 10th partner country in June 2025. It is Vietnam, right? Vietnam is the country, right, that joined the BRICS as their 10th partner country. Next is, United Nations General Assembly declared 2026 as the International Year of the Women Farmer to acknowledge the critical role of women in agriculture and to raise awareness about the challenges they face globally. Question asked is, which country initiated the resolution that led to the declaration by United Nations General Assembly? It is USA, United States of America. And this resolution was supported by over 100 countries, highlighting the international recognition of women's contribution to global food system. Next, identify the correct statement regarding the Union Minister Piyush Goyal's 5-day official visit to Switzerland and Sweden. If we look at the options here, we have to find the correct statement. So all these three options are rightly mentioned here. Next, who was formally awarded a knighthood by the King Charles III in June, recognizing his remarkable contribution to sports and charitable causes. So who was awarded here the knighthood by the King Charles III? So right option is David Robert Joseph Beckham, right? That is David Beckham, very famous footballer, former footballer. He was awarded here with this honor. Next, mention the name of the satellite that CNSA, China National Space Administration, launched during the Long March 2D carrier rocket from Jiuquan Satellite Launch Center to monitor the natural disasters using advanced space technologies. It is Zhongheng 102. Right, it was launched using Long March 2D carrier rocket and it represented 581st mission of the Long March rocket. Next, Goa Shipyard Limited, that is a defense PSU, launched the 5th fast patrol vessel for the Indian Coast Guard in June, right? And it was under 473 crore rupees project. Identify the indigenously built vessel. What is the name of this 5th fast patrol vessel? It is Achal. Take a note of this. And it can reach a speed of 27 knots. It is 52 meters in length and 8 meters wide. Next, name the first Indian sponsor team that made history by winning the rapid section of the 3rd edition of the FIDE World Rapid and Blitz Team Championship held in London in June 2025. It is MGDI. Right, this is the first Indian sponsor team to have won the rapid section of the 2025 FIDE edition of the 3rd edition of the World Rapids and Blitz Team Championship. Next, Jacinda Kate Laurel Arden, the former Prime Minister of which country, released a memoir. This is the memoir, A Different Kind of Power, where she highlighted her leadership journey and personal milestone. So she is the former Prime Minister of New Zealand. Next, mention the theme under the 10th anniversary of the United Nations International Day of Family Remittance, observed on 16th of June, focusing on sustainable development goals in low and middle income countries. So what is the theme here? It is being asked. It is remittances financing development. Next, inaugural edition of the Joint Special Force exercise Tiger Claw, conducted from 26th of May to 10th of June between Indian Air Force and the United States Air Force, concluded at where it was in UP, Uttar Pradesh, right? Tiger Claw exercise, and it is held Tiger Claw is held between Indian Air Force and US Air Force. Then next, according to the third edition of United Nations Ocean Conference, which concluded in France, pick out the correct statement. From the option given here, which of the following is rightly mentioned? If we see here, option B is right, that is, the Coalition of Emerging Ocean Leaders, a global alliance of youth and early career professionals, was officially launched at the UNCO3. So, yes, absolutely right. Next, as per the EIU, Economist Intelligence Unit's Global Livability Index 2025 released on 17th of June, which of the following cities is not among the top 5 most livable cities in the world? So among the following, which is the not in the top 5, so Auckland, New Zealand is not among the top 5, right? These rest, where we can see Copenhagen of Denmark is the most livable city in the world, that is on the first position. Then on second position is Vienna of Austria. Remember, Vienna, Austria used to top the position, but now it is on the second position here, right? So Copenhagen, Denmark on first, Vienna, Austria on second, Zurich on third, Melbourne on fourth. Next, United Nations General Assembly, through the resolution this adopted on 16th of June, proclaimed 4th of December as International Day Against Unilateral Coercive Measures starting from 2025. Right, take a note of this. Next, mention the name of the event for which footballer Cristiano Ronaldo announced as the global ambassador. So he was appointed as the global ambassador for Esports World Cup 2025 to be held in Saudi Arabia. Right, that is in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. Next, mention the state in India that topped the implementation of Ayushman Bharat Digital Mission as per the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. It is Bihar, right? And Bihar has almost achieved 92% online OPD registration rate at the government hospitals or government facilities. Next, which of the following institutions signed a tripartite MOU? Tripartite means 3 organizations signed here MOU on 18th of June to strengthen the inclusive education for the persons with disability. So which of the organization among them? 3 organizations: National Institute of Open Schooling NIOS, National Council of Educational Research and Training, that is NCRT, and Department of Empowerment of Persons with Disability. So these 3 organizations here signed the MOU to strengthen the inclusive education for the persons with disability. Next, name the digital platform that will be enhanced with local language support under the MOU signed between Ministry of Panchayati Raj and Bhashini, that is Bhasha Interface for India. This is basically, Bhashini is an AI platform that is using AI to provide multilingual support to different organizations, even with the ministries here, right? And here you will be seeing to Panchayati Raj, here this Bhashini will be supporting or providing multilingual support. Right, so name the digital platform that will be enhanced here. It is E-Gram Swaraj. And the government of Mizoram, remember, they have also signed an MOU with Bhashini under MEITY to promote the multilingual governance in their area. Next, what is the name of the joint military exercise between India and France, whose 8th edition is being held from 18th of June to 1st of July in France? What is the exercise? It is exercise Shakti, right? This exercise Shakti is held between India and France. This is the 18th edition of this exercise, right? And it will enhance the coordination of military between these 2 nations. Next, identify the correct statement regarding the winners of Yuva Puraskar and Bal Sahitya Puraskar declared by Sahitya Academy in June 25. We have to find the correct statement here. So 23 authors of Yuva Puraskars and in among 6 categories with no awards in Dogri language, absolutely right. Second, 24 authors were selected for Bal Sahitya Puraskar across 7 categories, absolutely right. And each winner will be honored with a casket containing an engraved copper plate and a cash award of 5,000 rupees each, so absolutely right. All these 3 are rightly mentioned. Next is mention the Indian naval ship that became India's first indigenously designed and built anti-submarine warfare shallow watercraft warship inducted by Indian Navy in Visakhapatnam, Andhra Pradesh. So what is the name of that Indian naval ship? It is Arnala. In June, renowned environmentalist, wildlife expert, Marathi author and Padma Shri awardee Maruti Bhujangaro Chitampalli, widely known as Aranya Rishi, that is forest sage, passed away at the age of 93. In which year did he conferred with the Padma Shri award? So the forest sage or Aranya Rishi, he was honored with Padma Shri in 2025. Right? Next, National Reading Day observed on 19th of June every year to instill reading culture among all age groups and encourage the literacy through books and libraries. Question is, the day is observed to commemorate the contribution of which personality widely known as the father of the library and literacy movement in Kerala? So it is P.N. Panikkar, right? Take a note of it. Next is Sitha app. This was launched in June in Telangana. This is a gig-based platform developed to provide flexible, skill-based earning opportunities to empower which group? It is to empower the women. So specifically for women, this Sitha app was launched, and it was launched in Telangana to provide the gig workers or gig platform workers with various flexible and skill-based opportunity to the women's there specifically. Next, in June, Ministry of Personal Public Grievances and Pension issued an office memorandum on providing OPS, old pension system benefits to the central government employees that are subscribed under UPS. What is the minimum monthly pension amount under the OPS for central government employees with at least 10 years of service? So with 10 years of service, any central government employee want to take voluntary or retirement, then he will be entitled to a minimum of 10,000 rupees monthly pension. Next, name the web portal launched by the Union Minister for Women, Child and Development Annapurna Devi during the national consultation on gender budgeting. So which is this web portal? It is Gender Budgeting Knowledge Hub. Next, in which city was India's first ever commercial deployment of hydrogen fuel cell based buses launched? These buses were launched by NTPC, National Thermal Power Corporation, and they were launched in Leh Ladakh. Next, what is India's rank in Global Energy Transition Index as per the World Economic Forum's report released, that is titled Fostering Effective Energy Transition 2025 in June 2025. So what is India's rank here? India stands at 71st position. Right? Then Sweden secured the top position. Finland on the second position, and Denmark on the third position. Next, which of the following universities is not ranked in the top 5 globally as per the Quackrelli-Simon World University Ranking 2026 as released by Quackrelli-Simon in June? So here IIT Delhi, right, is not ranked among the top 5. So take a note of this. India IIT here is not ranked. IIT was not here. Take a note of this. If we see MIT secured the first position, then Imperial College London second position, Stanford University third position, University of Oxford fourth position, and Harvard University fifth position. Next, identify the correct statement regarding the World Investment Report 25. Here you can see the title, International Investment in the Digital Economy, launched by the Secretary General of United Nations Conference on Trade and Development in June. We have to find the correct statement here. Option A and option C are rightly mentioned. Right? Now, B is saying that is wrong is China continues to be the leading country for both FDI inflows and outflows. No, it is not China but USA that is dominating both FDI inflows and outflows. Next, identify the company that entered into a strategic collaboration with the Council of Europe Development Bank of France to modernize their reconciliation operations using artificial intelligence and automation. It is TCS, Tata Consultancy Services. Next, as of March, which country became the largest source of FDI equity inflows into India? It is Singapore. Right? Next, according to the Performance Grading Index 2.0 for 23-24 released by Department of School Education and Literacy in June, which of the following states or union territories is not among the top 5 performers in school education? Among the following in top 5, Maharashtra is not there. Chandigarh on 1st, Punjab on 2nd, Delhi on 3rd, Gujarat on 4th and Odisha on 5th. Is in June, Galaxy Space Solutions Private Limited, a space tech startup, they have announced their plan for their second Earth observation satellite, targeting a sharp resolution of 0.5 meter and revisit time under the 3 days. It is Galaxy, they have launched this. Next, with a throw of how much distance did India's Neeraj Chopra win the Paris Diamond League? Neeraj Chopra, he is related with javelin throw and he threw a 88.16 meter javelin and he has won the Paris Diamond League 2025 title. Next, identify the correct statement regarding the International Day of Yoga observed on 21st of June. If we look at the options here, option B is right and C is right, A is wrong. A is saying the theme for this day is From Clicks to Progress, Youth Digital Pathways for Sustainable Development. Is it correct? No, this is not the theme. We have done the theme multiple times, students. That is Yoga for One Earth, One Health. This is the theme here that you need to remember for International Yoga Day. Next, AG600, the world's largest amphibious aircraft, was developed by whom? It was developed by Aviation Industry Corporation of China. Next, Zuno Smart Drive is a flagship product launched by Juno Journal Insurance in June. Under which category of insurance? So just Juno Smart Drive, as the name suggests, Smart Drive, it is for car insurance that has been launched. This is a cash detection feature that is powered by an advanced mobile telematic system that has been integrated into the Zuno application. Mark the wrong statement regarding the recent visit of Prime Minister Narendra Modi to Bihar, Odisha and Andhra Pradesh. If we look at the options here, all are right. Option 4 is given the wrong statement, that is PM Modi laid the foundation stone for water supply and sanitation projects worth 3,000 crore in several towns of Andhra Pradesh. Is it correct? No, this is not right, right? Because these multiple development projects, correct, that are related to water supply and sanitation, right? This is worth 3,000 crore rupees and they were launched in various towns of several towns of not Andhra Pradesh but Bihar. Then 11th edition of International Yoga Day celebration took place in Andhra Pradesh, Visakhapatnam. That was led by PM Modi and the theme here is One Yoga for One Health, Yoga for One Earth, One Health is the theme here. Next, President of India Draupadi Murmu ma'am visited Uttarakhand from 19 to 21st of June. Pick out the correct statement here. If we look at the options, all these three options are rightly mentioned. Next, which state election commission became the first in India to introduce a mobile-based electronic voting system that is for municipal and urban local bodies election in June 25 that will enable the voters so that they can cast their votes remotely using the Android smartphones. This is Bihar, right? And it is making news all over the world. This is important that you need to remember, so take a note of it. And with this, Bihar became the first state to implement such a method. Next, and one more thing, remember this e-voting system, it has been developed by CDAC, Center for Development of Advanced Computing. RBI has revised the regulatory lending norms for small finance banks, reducing the mandated allocation to priority sectors by 15%. From when the revised guidelines are set to come into effect? These are set into effect from 1st of April 2025. And the small finance banks, right, they are required to allocate 40% of their adjusted net bank credit or credit equivalent of offshore balance exposure to the subsectors that are defined under the priority sector lending, right, and the remaining 35% to any priority sector lending subsector where they have a competitive advantage. Moving on. Next, name the solar powered car unveiled by the student team of Indian Institute of Technology Madras, that is IIT Madras, that is team Agnirath, in June to participate in the Bridgestone World Solar Challenge 2025. What is the name of that solar powered car that was launched by team Agnirath? It is Aganya, right? And this was launched by IIT Madras team, that is team Agnirath. Next, who was appointed as the non-executive part-time chairman and additional director of Tamil Nadu Mercantile Bank Limited in June for a tenure of 3 years. So, right option here is K. Ramchandran. Next, which state was declared the third fully literate state in India in June after Mizoram and Goa with a literacy rate of 95.6? It is Tripura. And all these are under the Ullas initiative. Next, who has been appointed as the chairperson of the 8-member technical expert group formed by the Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation to guide India's first full-scale household income survey scheduled for Feb 2026. It is Dr. Surujit S. Balla, right? And this is an 8-member technical expert group. This technical expert group will be chaired by Dr. Surujit S. Balla, the former executive director for India at the IMF. And this technical expert group will guide the National Statistical Office on all the aspects of surveys, final report making, and also for the analysis of the regional income disparities that we are seeing, income equality that we are seeing, and welfare targeting. Next, Adani New Industries Limited, they commissioned India's first off-grid 5 megawatt green hydrogen pilot plant where in Gujarat. And this is under National Green Hydrogen Mission. What is India's rank in 2025 Sustainable Development Goals Index released by United Nations Sustainable Development Solutions Network in June 2025? It is 99. Right? India ranks at 99. Correct? And this was the 10th edition of Sustainable Development Report, where first position was secured by Finland and India stands at 99th position. Next, identify the organization that in June 2025 announced the 2025 cohort of its Technology Pioneers program featuring 100 early stage companies including 10 Indian startups from 28 countries that are driving innovation across industries. Right? So World Economic Forum, they have selected 10 startups from India. So they generally select 100 startups globally, and this time 10 Indian startups were included in this. So it is a good thing for India. Next, the Department of Financial Services held a meeting on scaling up RBI's latest digital lending infrastructure, Unified Lending Interface. Mentioned the organization that has developed this ULI, Unified Lending Interface. It has been developed by Reserve Bank Innovation Hub. Next, in June, Dash announced that it has listed India's first environmental social governance bond on National Stock Exchange. It is L&T, Larsen and Toubro. They have announced that it has listed India's first environmental social governance bond on National Stock Exchange. Right? And the company has raised 500 crore rupees through non-convertible debentures at a coupon rate of 6.35%. Next, who is the first Indian selected as an astronaut candidate for the space mission of USA's Titan Space Industries, whose orbital mission to the Orbital Port Space Station is scheduled to launch in 2029. Right? Who is she? Dangeti Janvi. Right? Take a note of this. She is from Andhra Pradesh and she is the first Indian selected for the TSI's orbital mission to the Orbital Port Space Station that is scheduled for 2029. Next, identify the sport from which Indian player Lalit Kumar Upadhyay announced his international retirement in June 2025. It is hockey. And in 2021, he was also awarded with Arjuna Award. Next, which Indian company is establishing 91,000 crore semiconductor fabrication plant in Dholera Special Investment Region of Gujarat? It is Tata Electronics Private Limited. And this first chip production from this fabrication unit is expected to begin By December 2026, around 20,000 skilled jobs will be generated here. Next, who among the following is the co-founder of Oracle Corporation? So, Larry Ellison. Next, in June, Ministry of Civil Aviation, Government of Maharashtra, Pawan Hans Limited and FICCI, they jointly organized the 7th Helicopter and Small Aircraft Summit in Pune, Maharashtra. Question is, mention the regulatory body under which the new helicopter directorate will operate as announced by the Union Minister of Civil Aviation, Kinjarappu Ram Mohan Naidu, during the summit. It is Directorate General of Civil Aviation, DGCA. Next, what is the revised limit for auto settlement of advance claims announced by the EPFO in June to provide faster financial assistance to members in emergency? It is 5 lakh rupees. And all the valid auto settlement claims up to 5 lakh rupees will be disbursed within 72 hours, that is within 3 days. Next, India and South Africa convened their 9th Joint Committee meeting in Johannesburg in South Africa from 23rd to 24th of June to strengthen their cooperation in which sector? It is to strengthen their cooperation in the defense sector. Next, how much loan amount was approved by the World Bank Board of Executive Director for Karnataka Water Security and Resilience Program that is aimed at enhancing water security and resilience for over 4 million residents in Bengaluru? So, how much loan amount was approved? $426 million by World Bank. Next, in collaboration with the Society for Innovation and Entrepreneurship, that is SIGN, and which institute did HDFC Life Insurance Company Limited launch HDFC Insureka, HDFC Life Insureka, that is an innovation or innovative challenge for startups to foster sustainable and industry-wide innovation. So, it is with IIT Bombay. And this initiative will invite startups from across India to co-create transformative technology-driven solutions that will address the real-world challenges in the life insurance industry. Next, identify the incorrect statement regarding the approved proposal by Competition Commission of India on June 24. It is, which of the following is the incorrect here? So, C is incorrect here. A is right, B is right, C is wrong. C is saying approved the acquisition of certain issued and paid up equity share capital of Bikaner Wala by Alpha Wave Ventures second LP and Alpha Wave IHC CI LP. Is it correct? So it is not. Remember here, it approved the acquisition of the certain issued and paid up capital share of not Bikaner Wala but Haldiram Snacks. Haldiram Snacks Food Private Limited, right, by Miami, Florida based. Then now these are right. Next, make the correct statement regarding the maritime initiatives launched by Union Minister Sarbandana Sonowal. If we look at the options here, all three of them are rightly mentioned. Next, pick out the correct statement regarding the Atal Mission for Rejuvenation and Urban Transformation, that is Amrit, as of June 2025. So, mark the correct statement here, which is the right statement. Option B and C is right, A is wrong. A is saying Amrit Mission launched on 25th of June 2015 by PM Modi under Ministry of Rural Development. Is it correct? No, it was launched under the Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs. Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs. Next, in June, National Highways Authority of India developed India's first dedicated wildlife corridor on Delhi-Mumbai Expressway in Rajasthan, right, to balance the infrastructure development with wildlife conservation. This is also important. Next, identify the wildlife sanctuary that was marked as the first protected forest dedicated exclusively to butterflies in June 25 by Kerala State Wildlife Board. It is Aralam Wildlife Sanctuary that was renamed to Aralam Butterfly Sanctuary, that is India's first protected forest dedicated to butterflies. Next, which country hosted the NATO Summit 25 from 24 to 25th of June for the first time since NATO's formation in 1949? So, first time they are hosting it. It is Netherlands. Next, mention the name of the bank with which PhonePe Limited partnered to launch co-branded credit card on the RuPay network. It is HDFC Bank. Next, in June, who was elected as the new president of Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank, succeeding Jin Likin? So, Zhu Ziai was elected as the new president of Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank, and for period of 5 years starting from 16th of January 2026. Next, in June 25, a book titled The One Cricket, My Life and More was released, in which the author shared about his professional life as a cricketer, as a champion player, and his personal life. Who is the author of this book? So, Shikhar Dhawan is the author of this book, and this book is published by HarperCollins India Private Limited. Next, the World MSME Day is annually observed across the globe on 27th of June to recognize the MSME's role in sustainable development goals. Question asked is, identify the correct statement regarding the MSME Day. So, right option is all three of them are rightly mentioned. Next, name the author who was shortlisted for the Women's Prize for Fiction for her debut novel, Good Girl. So, right option is Arya Eber. Next, mark the correct statement regarding 196th meeting of the ESIC chaired by Union Minister Dr. Mansukh Mandaviya. If we look at the options here also all these three options are rightly mentioned. Next, according to the draft rules notified by the Ministry of Road Transport and Highways in June, from which date will it be mandatory for all newly manufactured two-wheelers in India to be equipped with anti-lock braking system, that is ABS. So starting from 1st of January 2026, it will be mandated for all the two-wheelers to be fitted with this anti-lock braking system, in which the motorcycles, when applied brakes, won't be sliding or skidding. Next, which of the following sites in UP state was added to the tentative list of the UNESCO's World Heritage Site in June? So, Salkhan Fossil Park was added to the tentative list of the UNESCO's World Heritage Site, and now India has a total of 63 UNESCO tentative sites. Next, identify the company that received the certificate of authorization, that is a final authorization from RBI to operate as a licensed online payment aggregator under the Payments and Settlements Act of 2007. So it is InStiFi, right? They got this final approval. Next, mention the name of the Indian chess grandmaster who won the second UZ Chess Masters title held in Tashkent, Uzbekistan. And who is he? He is R. Prangnanda. Take a note of this, students. Next is identify the correct statement regarding the ICC's approving several important changes to the playing conditions for men's international cricket to enhance game flow, fairness and tactical balance. So identify the correct statement here. If we look at the options, option B and C are right, A is wrong. A is saying that the stop clock rule introduced earlier in the white ball formats to tackle the slow over rates will now be applied in 2020 matches. Is it correct? No, it won't be applied just in the T20 matches, right? In the ODI and T20 matches, it will be applied. Correct? I correct myself. Neither in ODI and neither in T20. This match or this rule will be implemented where? It will be implemented in the Test cricket. Will be implemented not in T20, neither in ODI. It will be implemented in the Test cricket. Next, mention the eminent journalist and president of the Indira Gandhi National Center for Arts Trust who was conferred the Padma Bhushan in June 2025. So, Ram Bahadur Rai, right, is the eminent journalist and president of the Indira Gandhi National Center for Arts who was conferred with this Padma Bhushan in June 2025. Next, identify the company that recently invested 31.4 million euro, that is 312.8 crore rupees in Eutelsat Group as a part of its euro 1.3 billion euro capital raising initiative. So identify that company. It is Bharti Space Limited. So that's all for the day, students. Now let's move to the revision part that will be beneficial for your learning. Identify the medical condition for which India conducted the first human gene therapy trial in April 25 through a collaboration between Biotechnology Research and Innovation Council's Institute for Cell Science and Regenerative Medicine in Bengaluru and Christian Medical College, Vellore. So identify that medical condition for which India conducted its first human gene therapy trial. It is for hemophilia, right? This is a genetic blood disorder, right, in which blood does not clot normally, causing abnormal bleeding. Next, identify the portal that was launched by Himachal Pradesh Chief Minister Sukhwinder Singh Sukhu to simplify the application process for various social security pension schemes in the state. It is e-Kalyan, right? This portal reflects the Himachal Pradesh government's commitment to enhance the transparency and efficiency in delivering the social welfare schemes. Next, on 69th Foundation Day, that was on 1st of May, of the Directorate of Enforcement, the Union Minister of State for Finance Pankaj Chaudhary has honoured several Enforcement Directorate officers for their outstanding service. Who among the following received the President's Medal for Meritorious Service during this event, right? This was the 69th Foundation Day of ED, right? And who among the following received the President's Medal here for Meritorious Service during the event? Abhishek Goyal. Take a note of it. And a total of 23 officers, right, and zonal units were honored here. Next, which ministry organized the event Aging with Dignity Initiatives for the Welfare of Senior Citizens, that was attended by the President Draupadi Murmu ma'am on 2nd of May at Rashtrapati Bhavan Cultural Center, Delhi. So it is Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment. This event was organized by Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment, and here various key initiatives that are dedicated to the well-being of senior citizens were launched during the event. Next, name the digital platform that was launched by Moraji Desai National Institute of Yoga under the Ministry of Ayush during the Yoga Mahotsav event in May 25 to mark the 50-day countdown to International Day of Yoga 2025. It is Yoga Sangam portal. Take a note of this. And International Yoga Day was observed on 21st of June. Next, in May, Union Minister for Corporate Affairs Nirmala Sitharaman ma'am, our Finance Minister, inaugurated the Corporate Bhavan, a 7-story facility for the Ministry of Corporate Affairs, where in Kolkata, West Bengal. Next, in May, Union Minister Amit Shah, our Home Minister, paid tribute to by unveiling a statue and renaming a road and rotary in New Delhi on the 35th death anniversary of Bodofa Upendranath Brahmaji, right, in New Delhi. This ceremony was organized by the government of Assam, and it is here this statue that we are talking about. This is a 9-feet statue that was unveiled, and the road was named Lala Lajpat Rai in South Delhi was renamed to. So this road was renamed to what? Bodofa Upendra Brahma Marg. Correct? Take a note of it. Then next, one more thing, this statue of Bodofa, right, it is also known as the guardian of the Bodos. Guardian of the Bodos, right, or we can say father of the Bodos. Next, where did Union Minister Rajnath Singh virtually inaugurated the BrahMos Aerospace Integration and Testing Facility in May to strengthen India's efforts to become a self-reliant in defense production. So it is Lucknow, UP, right? So Lucknow, UP, here Union Minister Rajnath Singh virtually inaugurated the BrahMos Aerospace Integration and Testing Facility. Next, in May, Adani Enterprise Limited, the flagship company of the Adani Group, introduced India's first fuel cell truck for mining logistics in Raipur, Chhattisgarh. Mention the type of fuel used in the vehicle. It is hydrogen that has been launched. It was launched by NTPC. It was launched by Adani Enterprise Limited, right? They have launched this first fuel cell truck for mining logistics in Chhattisgarh, Rajasthan, in Chhattisgarh, Raipur, right? It is hydrogen fuel. Apart from this, remember, NTPC has also launched hydrogen powered buses, right? Where these buses has been launched? They have been launched in Leh Ladakh. Next, Madhya Pradesh and Dash have signed a memorandum of understanding. Madhya Pradesh and Maharashtra has signed an MOU in Bhopal to implement the Tapti Basin Mega Recharge Project worth 19,244 crore rupees, touted as the world's largest groundwater recharge initiative. So it is Madhya Pradesh and Maharashtra that has signed this MOU. This project will tackle the water security and will ensure sustainable irrigation and strengthen the drinking water supply through groundwater recharge. Next, where was the Inland Waterways Authority of India under the Ministry of Port, Shipping and Waterways established their new regional office in May to strengthen the inland water transport sector in the region. It is in Srinagar, Jammu and Kashmir. Correct? Take a note of it. Next, Mention the first Indian city declared beggar free in May 25 following an anti-begging campaign launched in Feb that was recognized as the model project by the Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment and World Bank. It is Indore, Madhya Pradesh. Next, identify the first American university approved by Indian UGC, Indian University Grant Commission in May to establish an independent degree granted campus in Mumbai, Maharashtra. It is Illinois Institute of Technology, right? They will be establishing their campus in Mumbai, Maharashtra. Name the university that will be establishing their campus in UP. The international university that will be establishing their campus in UP. In UP too, it will be in Greater Noida. Name that university. Next, which state government approved the Ati Koli Duti Pat, a financial assistance scheme for the welfare of tea garden workers in order to provide one-time assistance of 5,000 each payment and temporary worker of the tea gardens in the state. So, which is the state government that has approved this Ati Koli Duti Pat scheme? It has been launched by Assam government.
India's export of goods and services reached an all-time high of $824.9 billion in FY25 as per the data on services trade for March 2025 that was released by RBI in May 2025. Take a note of this. Next, identify the payment service provider that recently launched the India's first model context protocol server for a payment gateway in April, enabling businesses to integrate AI-driven systems. It is Razorpay. Take a note of this. This is the first model context protocol server for a payment gateway that will enable AI-driven systems that will be directly incorporated with the payment infrastructure. Next, ZAC E-Payment Services Limited, that is ZACPay, they received the final regulatory approval of the certification of authorization from RBI to operate as a payment aggregator. Payment aggregator, that means they can be receive or they can now receive and send payments to the merchants within India only. If it was cross-border, then it could have been between different countries. Next, IFSCA, that is International Financial Service Centers Authority, they have signed an MOU with which institution to boost capacity building in the securities market in GIFT IFSC. It is National Institute of Securities Market. Next is in May, which company launched India's first AI-powered gold melting automated teller machine, that is IT. If you remember, this was launched earlier in China, right? And now it is Gold Sikka. It is now Gold Sikka Limited. This is the company. They have launched the first AI powered gold melting ATM machine. With this ATM, you can deposit gold and withdraw. You can basically provide the gold to these ATMs and they will be returning you the cash based on the purity and the weight of the gold. Next is what is the minimum investment threshold or ticket size mandated by SEBI for the issuance of securitized debt instruments for RBI regulated originators and unregulated entities. So minimum investment threshold here is of 1 crore rupees. It is now mandatory to have at least 3 years of operating experience for the originators, and these new norms will aim to ensure originators they maintain interest in underlying asset as the amount has been now 1 crore rupees. Right, this is for SDIs, that is securitized debt instruments for RBI regulated originators and unregulated entities that are engaged in securitization activities. Next, mention the organization that supported the Haryana AI development project, which was approved by Haryana cabinet led by Haryana Chief Minister Nayab Singh Saini in May for the period of 2025 to 2028. So which is that project? It is World Bank. Correct. So Nayab Singh Saini, the Chief Minister of Haryana, has approved a 3-year Haryana Artificial Intelligence Development Program that will be backed by World Bank. And this is for 2025 till 2028, and 474.39 crore rupees will be spent here, and an SPV, special purpose vehicle, will be established. Next, SBI has released a report forecasting that India's retail inflation measured by the Consumer Price Index is expected to remain below 3% during the first quarter of FY26. That is a good news for Indian market. With this, what will happen is that people will be having more money. As inflation won't be rising, people will be having more money in their hand. Hence, the spending power of people will increase. And if you are seeing that few months or few days back, the repo rate was also reduced by 50 basis points by RBI, and this initiative itself will further enhance the market. How? Because the loans, the home loans especially, they will be getting cheap. Next, Kotak Mahindra Bank launched their premium invite only Kotak Solitaire credit card that will be targeting the high net worth individuals customer segment under their Solitaire program. Next is mark the correct statement regarding the RBI relaxing norms for foreign portfolio investors to buy local corporate bonds by removing short-term debt instrument limits and concentration limits in May 2025. If we look at the options, we have to find the correct statement. So previously, FBIs were allowed to invest a maximum of 30% of their total investment in corporate bonds with a residual maturity of 1 year or less. So option A is absolutely right. Next is which country introduced the world's first national cryptocurrency tourism payment system in May through a collaboration with Binance Pay and DK Bank. It is Bhutan. What will happen now is the tourism will be flourishing here, as the tourists will now be able to pay through their cryptocurrencies in Bhutan for the tourism, be it your flight tickets, be it your hotel booking, or for food, or for leisure, or for travel. Everything can be paid through Binance, right, in the cryptocurrencies. Next, and the cryptocurrency that will be accepted here is BTC, that is your Binance coin, BNB, and USDC, that is United States dollar coin. Next, in May, RBI recognized the Fixed Income Money Market and Derivative Association as a dash, that is as a self-regulatory organization, financial market regulated by RBI. This recognition will enhance the authority to regulate the member conduct and enforce fair prices in the financial market. And this organization, it is an association of the commercial banks, public financial institutions, primary dealers, and insurance companies that was incorporated in 1998. Next is public sector banks cumulative profit rose to a record level in FY25, registering a growth of 26% over the previous year. Identify the correct statement from these options. So all these three options are rightly mentioned. Next, mention the name of the bank becoming the first from the Middle East and African region to open their branch in GIFT IFSC, that is in Gandhinagar, Gujarat. It is Qatar National Bank Group, the first bank from the Middle East and African region. Ministry of Consumer Affairs, Food and Public Distribution sanctioned an additional 2.8 million tons for rice for ethanol production under the ethanol blended petrol program. Mention the organization for which rice was allocated. So mention the organization. What is the organization? It is Food Corporation of India, FCI, right? And this is for ethanol production that comes under the ethanol blended petrol. Next, the Dedicated Freight Corridor Corporation of India Limited has launched the India's longest rail flyover glider as a part of the Western Dedicated Freight Corridor. It was launched at Kalamboli, Maharashtra. Right, this feat is a part of WDFC project that is aimed at enhancing the freight transportation efficiency, and this marks one of the most complex railway engineering projects in India that showcases the advanced construction technologies and precision planning. Here it is the installation of 110.5 meter open web steel girder that weighs approximately 1500 ton, making it the longest rail flyover girder in India. Next, the government of UP has launched Mukhyamantri Suposhan Abhiyan. This is a campaign that will cross 8 aspirational districts of UP, and it will be combating, as the name says, Suposhan. Suposhan is basically nutrition, right? So it will be combating child malnutrition, right? Take a note of this, and it will be launched in the 8 districts here. This initiative will be targeting children aged between 3 to 6 years of age, and it is expected that almost 11.13 lakh children will be benefited with this scheme. Next, the police department of Dash has launched a community outreach initiative that has been named Nai Disha, a path back to learning, that is aimed at to bring school dropouts back into the education system. So it is Delhi, right? Police Department of Delhi. They have launched this Nai Disha, a path back to learning. That initiative, or this initiative, will enhance or allow the students who dropped out from the schools to bring them back to the schools and complete their education.
Next, Sangri, a traditional slender bean, recently received the GI tag in the agriculture products category. It is from which Indian state? So, Sangri, it is from Rajasthan. Right? Next, and this Sangri, it grows on the khejri tree. Next, Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare has released 3 new crop varieties, that is Malviya Manila Sanchit Dhan 1 of rice, Malviya Dhan 105 Sub 1 also of rice, and Malviya Nidhi for mustard, that has developed by Dash for the benefits of the farmers in UP. So simple question is asked that these 3 varieties that has been recently launched, they have been developed by whom? They have been developed by Banaras Hindu University in partnership with Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare. Next, in May, Union Minister Ashwini Vaishnav had inaugurated the first 3 nanometer chip design centers of Renesas Electronics India Private Limited. Name the cities at which these facilities are located. It is in Noida and Bengaluru. Next, the Government of India has designed Dash as the annual date to celebrate Ayurveda Day, symbolizing the balance in nature by coinciding with the autumn equinox. Right, so Government of India has designated 23rd of September as the annual date to celebrate Ayurveda Day. It is also symbolizing the autumn equinox, right? A day when both night and day are equal. In summer solstice, it is the day that is long and night that is short. In winter solstice, it is day that is short and night that is long. And in autumnal equinox, at this day, that is on 23rd of September, both day and night are equal. The Center of Earth Science and Himalayan Studies successfully drilled the Northeast region's first geothermal production well at Dirang village in Arunachal Pradesh, making a major step towards clean and sustainable energy in the Himalayan region. Next, which conservation reserve was recently declared as the India's largest conservation reserve by Himachal Pradesh government under this section of the Wildlife Protection Act of 1972? It is Sarap Chu Conservation Reserve, right? It spreads across 1,585 square kilometer of area. Next, identify the state that launched a Water Resource Atlas 25, an AI-powered geospatial platform that is aiming to monitor, manage and conserve states' rapidly depleting water reserves through real time. It is Haryana state. Take a note of this. This initiative will monitor, manage and conserve the Haryana's rapidly depleting water reserves through real time and layered insights. Next is Union Minister. Which union ministry has launched the revamped Overseas Citizen of India portal that will enhance the digital expertise or digital experience for the OCI card holders and the new applicants? It is the Ministry of Home Affairs. Next, Rule 8 of the Securities Contract Regulation, that is 1957, was amended in May 2025 to boost ease of doing business for brokers. The amendment was carried out by whom? It was carried out by the Department of Economic Affairs. And these new rules, they came into effect from 19th of May 2025. Next, Government of India has tightened the import rules for the gold and silver under the Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreement that was signed with UAE, United Arab Emirates. Next, name the AI-powered chatbot launched by the government e-marketplace, that is GEM portal. This was during the 8th anniversary celebration in May to enhance public sector procurement services. So name that AI-powered chatbot. It is GEM AI, right? And it marks the 8th anniversary of the transformative impact of inclusive economic growth and governance, right? Also remember, during this event, GEM, they launched this GEM AI, that is the first AI-powered chatbot in the public sector. Next, the Department for Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade, that is DPIIT, it comes under the Ministry of Commerce and Industry. They have approved 187 startups for 100% income tax exemption under the revamped provisions of Section 80 IAC of the Income Tax Act of 1961. Next, mention the name of the state that launched 2 initiatives called Women Acceleration Program and Grassroots Youth Innovation Program. This will empower 1 crore women to become millionaires and to foster innovation among youth, right? So WAP, Women Acceleration Program, will help 1 crore women to achieve or to become a millionaire, and this
GYIP, that is Grassroots Youth Innovation Program. This will foster innovation among the youth. So which is the state that has launched these two initiatives? It is Telangana that has launched these two initiatives. Next, identify the name of AI-powered virtual news anchor launched by the Assam government to deliver cabinet meeting updates in Assamese, marking Assam as the first Indian state to deploy the AI anchor. The name here of this AI anchor is Ankita. Next, Gujarat government has launched two major portals, right? That is I Pragati and Tera Tujhko Arpan. They both are improving the citizen-centric police services and combating the cybercrime more effectively across the state. If we talk about this I Pragati, that is investigation progress report through automatically generated accurate and timely information. This is integrated with the existing system used by the Gujarat police. Then Tera Tujhko Arpan, this is a cybercrime refund portal, right? This is cybercrime refund portal, right? Tera Tujhko Arpan, they both launched by the Gujarat government. Next, which state government has approved a policy to promote the use of artificial sand, also known as the manufactured sand, M sand, as a sustainable alternative to natural reserves, natural river sand and construction activities. So from the natural river sand to this manufactured sand, right? Which is this state? It is Maharashtra state that has approved the policy here. And this policy is expected to generate employment opportunities through the establishment of this new M-SAND unit across the state. Next, the Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs has extended the deadline for completing houses sanctioned under the Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana Urban. So, the deadline here, it is 31st of December 2025 is the deadline here. Next, mention the state in India that recently declared the first fully literate state under the Ullas initiative. So first was Mizoram, then it became Goa, and recently it was Tripura that was also declared as the 100% literate state under the Ullas initiative. Next, name the joint exercise that was conducted by Indian Army engineers under the Spear Corps and National Disaster Relief Force NDRF from 13th to 15th of May at Rangapahar military station in Dimapur, Nagaland. So name that joint military exercise. It is exercise Rahat. Next, what is the denomination of the commemorative postage stamp released by the Department of Post in May to celebrate 125 years of the Tamil Nadu-based Kodaikanal Solar Observatory at the event held in IIT or Indian Institute of Astrophysics in Bengaluru, Karnataka? So, what is the denomination of the commemorative postage stamp? It is 5 rupees. And it is celebrating 125 years of Tamil Nadu-based Kodaikanal Solar Observatory.
Next, Union Minister for Ministry of Civil Aviation, Kinjarappu Ram Mohan Naidu, recently granted in principle approval for setting up a greenfield airport. Where this will be set up? It will be set up in Kota and Puri. Where are they located? These are located in Odisha. Right? Where are they located? In Odisha. Puri is in Odisha and Kota is in Rajasthan. Kota, the very famous location where the institutes are famous, right? And here the airport will be developed in 2 phases worth 1507 crore rupees. Correct? That is the first airport in Kota. Next, in May, National Museum for Clean Ganga has approved a project to protect and manage the Nathmalpur Bagad wetland. This is a wetland. Where is this wetland located? It is located in Bihar, in the Bhojpur district of Bihar. And here it will be conserved. And this decision was taken during the 62nd Executive Committee meeting. And here this will be costing 3.51 crore rupees. And this project is the 5th wetland being undertaken under this mission. Right? Next, under the Cashless Treatment of Road Accident Victims Schemes of 2025 as notified by the Ministry of Road Transport and Highways in May, what is the maximum amount entitled for cash treatment per accident per person? It is 1.5 lakh rupees per accident per treatment will be provided here. And the government has allocated 272 crore rupees for this particular scheme for FY26. Next, which state emerged as the India's leading textile exporter in FY25, contributing $7.99 billion? It is Tamil Nadu state, right? And Gujarat here ranked at the second position, correct? And Maharashtra on third position. Next, mention the technology that is embedded in India's newly launched e-passport to enhance traveler security and identification. Which is it? It is radio frequency identification, that is RFID. The key benefit of this e-passport, that is it will enhance the ability to maintain the integrity of the passport holders data. Next, Union Minister Piyush Goyal has addressed Colombia India Energy Dialogue. It was held in New Delhi, that emphasizes the India's role in driving just and inclusive shift to clean energy. Next, Prime Minister of India Narendra Modi, right, and the Prime Minister of UK Keir Starmer has announced the successful conclusion of the comprehensive and mutually beneficial India-UK Free Trade Agreement. By what year this FTA Free Trade Agreement is expected to double the bilateral trade by volume between India and UK to $60 billion, which is currently $30 billion. So the targeted year is 2030. And this free trade agreement, this will ensure zero duty market access for the 99% of the Indian exporters to the UK. Next, M. Nagaraju, the Secretary of the Department of Financial Services, has listed India's first mortgage-backed pass-through certificate structures by RMBS Development Company Limited, and it has been listed on the NSE, that is National Stock Exchange. This initiative, what it will do is this will enhance liquidity in the housing finance companies, right, and it will attract the long-term investors. We have also seen that RBI has recently reduced the repo rate by 50 basis points. Your homework is to tell me by what is the repo rate now, correct? Next, in May, Haryana government has implemented a new scheme called Pandit Lakshmi Chand Kalakar Samajik Samman Yojana. This is for the welfare of the senior artists and scholars of the state. Question asked is, under the scheme, the eligible artist will receive a monthly honorarium of how much amount as a financial support from the government. So a total of 10,000 rupees per month will be provided here to the senior artists and scholars, and the scheme will improve the financial and socio-economic conditions of these senior artists and art scholars. Next, in May, the Maharashtra State Cabinet approved the launch of the Adishakti Abhiyan, a statewide campaign that is focused on the women empowerment, with a budget of 10.5 crore rupees has been launched, right? This initiative was launched at a special cabinet meeting that was held in Maharashtra, that is in Maharashtra too, at Chondi, right? That is the birthplace of Ahilyabai Holkar, the famous 18th century queen of the Holkar dynasty, and it was to celebrate the 300th birth anniversary here. Next, mention the organization in India that collaborated with the Belgium's Grey Space Law and Policy Consulting firm to launch the Stride EUI initiative in May to enhance India-European strategic partnership. It is the dialogue. Next, recently in May, which of the following state is set to become a key participant in India's first interstate cheetah conservation corridor, collaborating with Madhya Pradesh to establish a 17,000 square kilometer wild corridor? It is Rajasthan. Right, take a note of this. The aim of this project is to improve the genetic diversity and ensure better movement of wildlife, and also to mitigate the challenges that are there of the habitat fragmentation. This corridor will be linking Palpur, Kuno National Park and Gandhi Sagar Sanctuary that are in Madhya Pradesh. They will be connected with Mukundra Hills Tiger Reserve, that is in Rajasthan. So in short term, we can say Madhya Pradesh here will be connected with Rajasthan for these wildlife corridor. Next, who has been appointed as the chairperson of the Committee on Estimates for FY26 by Lok Sabha Speaker Om Birla in May 25. So Sanjay Jaiswal was appointed here. This committee will comprise of 30 members, all from Lok Sabha. Next, as per the provisional data released by the Ministry of Mines in May, what was India's iron ore production in FY25? It was 289 million metric tons. Also, manganese ore, its production also reached a new all-time high in FY25, rising by 11.8% to 3.8 million metric tons. Next, The Indian Army received a Igla S missiles. This is a type of Russian made very short range man portable air defense system that is used to shoot down the low flying targets such as your drones, helicopters and missiles. If we talk about Israel students, they are having Iron Dome, and now USA is planning that they will be having Golden Dome. It is similar to that of Iron Dome. Next, name the institute under the Ministry of Earth Science that launched submarine cable project in May to enhance the long-term monitoring of the Indian Ocean. Which is the institute? It is Indian National Center for Ocean Information Services. They have launched this submarine cable project that will improve the long-term monitoring of the Indian Ocean. And a 150 kilometer long submarine cable will be installed off the coast of Vandur, that is in Andaman and Nicobar Islands. Next, mention the institute that received the approval from the Ministry of Education to open an off-campus center at GIFT City in GIFT IFSC in Gandhinagar, Gujarat. Which is that institute we are talking about? That is IIFT, Indian Institute of Foreign Trade. Next, name the innovative veterinary application app launched in May by NS Boseraju, right, who is the Union Minister for Science and Technology for the Government of Karnataka, that was developed by Transduces Technologies LLP. So, what is the name of that innovative application? It is Pathologist. Right? Next. And this application, Pathologist, it is a digital healthcare platform that has been specifically designed to connect pet owners and farmers with licensed veterinarians, clinics and hospitals. Next, according to the data released by the Ministry of Port Shipping and Waterways in May, 12 major ports of India registered a 4.3% increase in cargo handling from 819 million tons in FY24 to approximately 855 million metric tons in FY25. The two major ports that are Odisha-based Paradip Port Authority and Kandla, Gujarat-based Deendayal Port Authority. They have achieved a historic milestone of breaching 150 million tons cargo handling in FY25. Next, where did Union Minister of State Dr. Jitendra Singh dedicated India's first of its kind public-funded Department of Science and Technology ICGEB Biofoundry during the 31st board meeting of the governors. So it was in New Delhi. He also highlighted that India's bioeconomy has seen an exponential rise from $10 billion in 2024. It has risen to $165.7 billion in 2024. Right? This is 2014, and in 2024 we have seen almost 10-time rise. Next, India's first manned deep ocean mission, that is Samudrayan, will be launched by 2026 as announced by the Ministry of Earth Science in May. This mission will use manned submersible vehicle, that is Matsya, to reach a depth of 6,000 under the sea with 3 scientists, and hence it is known as Samudrayan or Matsya 6000, right? Matsya 6,000. You will also find written this, right? So this 6,000 means it will be going to a deep depth of 6 meters. That means 6,000 meters. That is 6 kilometers below the Earth's surface or below the ocean, right? And here 3 scientists will be going here along with this for supporting various missions and scientific operations. Next, which Indian government ministry in consultation with the Export Inspection Council prohibited the use of several medically important antimicrobials in aquaculture sector in May 2025? It is Ministry of Commerce and Industry. Next, the Department of Science and Technology has launched 5 carbon capture and utilization test beds in the cement industry across 5 states. The pilot facility for these test beds is located where? It is located at Ballabgarh in Haryana. Next, which state in India recently added 12 new district-specific products to its One District, One Product list in May, increasing the total number of products from 62 to 74? It is Uttar Pradesh, that is UP. And if you remember, for this One District, One Product, who was launched as the initial brand ambassador when the initiative was launched in UP? So, Kangana Ranaut was named as the brand ambassador at that time. Next, mention the name of the bank from which Mumbai Metropolitan Region Development Authority has secured a 1,500 crore rupees bank loan for redeveloping the slum areas along the Eastern Express Highway in Ghatkopar in Mumbai, Maharashtra. So mention the name of that bank. Which is that bank we are talking about here? It is Bank of
Maharashtra. Right, this will be the first phase of 8,498 crore rupees slum rehabilitation authority project, and the government agency will redevelop the Ramabai Ambedkar Nagar and Kamraj Nagar in Ghatkopar. Next, in May, HDFC Bank Limited, they have launched a new suite of Biz Plus current account to meet the evolving needs of India's which sector? It is micro, small and medium enterprise. Right? The account aims to address the evolving financial needs of the businesses across four growth stages, that is setup, then growth, then expansion and then further diversification. Next, SEBI, they have extended the compliance deadline for its revised framework on offshore derivative instruments that are issued by the FPIs, to which date it has been extended to 13th of November 2025. That was earlier 17th of May 2025. Right, from 17th of May extended till 17th of November. These updated norms, they aim to enhance transparency and investor accountability through stricter disclosure requirements and compliance measures. The decision here follows the representation from the market participants requesting more time for a smooth transition to the updated regulations. Next, in May, RBI has imposed a monetary penalty on Deutsche Bank India and Yes Bank Limited for non-compliance with specific regulatory guidelines under the Banking Regulation Act of 1949. Mention the amount of penalty imposed on Deutsche Bank India. So the penalty imposed is of 50 lakh rupees. Right? Take a note of this. On Deutsche Bank and on Yes Bank, the penalty imposed is of 29.6 lakh rupees. Next, identify the institute with which Indian Overseas Bank signed a memorandum of understanding for customized electronic learning and certification program on micro, small and medium enterprises. So identify the institute. It is your Indian Institute of Banking and Finance. The objective of the MOU here is to enhance the knowledge of employees about MSMEs and respond to credit need of MSMEs adequately and in a timely manner. Next, according to the recent approvals granted by RBI in May 25, pick out the incorrect statement. If we look at the options here, only C is wrong, A is right, B is right. C is saying that Capital India Finance Limited, they have obtained RBI approval for capital infusion into its key subsidiary Capital India Home Loans Limited. Is it correct? No, it is CIFL, that is Capital India Finance Limited. They have received the RBI approval for sale and change in control of their material subsidiary, that is Capital India Homes Loan Limited, right? Not your capital infusion. I repeat, they have received the RBI approval not for capital infusion but for the sale and change in control of its material subsidiary. Next, according to RBI latest data released in May, the outward remittance under the liberalized remittance scheme declined by 6.85% year on year. To what amount? It has been declined to $29.56 billion in FY25 compared to $31.74 billion recorded in FY24. Here, RBI cited certain factors which mainly contributed to the decline of the outward remittance. First is your global uncertainty. Second, the policies that have been implemented by various countries such as the UK, USA, right? Then apart from this, the warlike situations that are going on, students are now, or the people are less preferring outside countries for various travel or your education. Hence, the outward remittance has declined. But the inward remittance has touched a almost $130+ billion mark, which is again an interesting thing. Next, RBI has released their latest monthly bulletin revealing that NRI deposit in Indian banks soared to an 11-year high in the FY25. Identify the correct statement regarding the inflows in three types of NRI deposits. If we look at them, all these three options are rightly mentioned. Next, in May, RBI notified the formation of a 6-member Payment Regulatory Board under the Payment Regulatory Board Regulations of 2025 to regulate and supervise the payment systems in India, replacing the existing boards for regulation and supervision of payments and settlement system. Who will be the chairperson of this 6-member board? So, who will be here the member? RBI Governor. That is, who is the Governor of RBI? Sanjay Malhotra as of now. Next, identify the bank from which Vivriti Asset Management, they have secured a fresh commitment of $20 million for its Vivriti India Retail Assets Fund, bolstering the fund's capital base to $165 million. So identify the bank. Which is that bank? It is your Development Bank of Austria, right? Take a note of it. Then how much amount is approved by the Central Board of Directors of RBI in their 615th meeting that was held in May 25 to be transferred as a surplus to the Government of India for FY25? How much amount is the surplus? 2.69 trillion rupees. Quite interesting. This is a 27% higher surplus than last fiscal year of FY24, where the amount was 2.11 trillion rupees, and here it is 2.69 trillion rupees. Also, the central board has decided to increase the contingency risk buffer to 7.5%, the highest end of the new band. Next, mention the name of the bank bank which is in partnership with Super.Money, that is a fintech platform backed by Flipkart, launched a RuPay credit card to offer high cashback rewards for UPI based QR code payments. Mention the name of the bank. It is your Axis Bank, right? They partnered with Super.Money. Next, identify the insurance company that has entered into a strategic partnership with Equitas Small Finance Bank with an aim to expand life insurance accessibility in India through bank branch network. It is Aditya Birla Sun Life Insurance Company Limited. This partnership aims to enhance financial protection and inclusion, particularly in semi-urban and rural areas of the country. Next, Kotak Mahindra Bank Limited, they have introduced a new chapter of their flagship digital banking platform, that is Kotak 811, with a campaign that celebrates the seamless, intuitive and full service experience it offers its customers. This initiative will enhance the digital banking experience for the customers who are looking for modern banking than traditional banking. Next, according to Alliance Global Insurance Report of 2025 that was released in May 25, India's life insurance market is expected to grow at 10.5% annual CAGR over the next decade. Right? This report has been recently released by Alliance Global Insurance. And the Indian market, it is poised to become the second largest in Asia, surpassing Japan. And India's growth here of life insurance sector will be at 10.5 CAGR over the next decade. Mention the name of the specialized suite of current and saving accounts launched by Canara Bank to cater the institutional clients, including healthcare, education and religious organizations. It is Canara True Edge. The new offering is designed to address the unique banking requirements of institutional clients across the country, including various sectors such as your healthcare, education and religious organizations. Next, identify the financial institute that extended 1910 crore funding to Uttarakhand in May for urban infrastructure development under the Uttarakhand Urban Sector Development Agency. It is European Investment Bank, that is EIB. This will enhance the urban infrastructure development across 4 cities of Uttarakhand. Right? Take a note of it. And the amount here is 1910 crore rupees. Next, RBI has imposed a total monetary penalty of 2.72 crore rupees on SBI and Jana Small Finance Bank. This is for non-compliance and regulatory guidelines. SBI was imposed with 1.728 crore rupees penalty, and Jana Small Finance Bank, they were imposed with 1 crore rupees penalty. Next, mention the 2 fixed deposit schemes launched by Indian banks in 2025 to provide secure investment options and promote environmental sustainability. It is IND Secure and IND Green. This move comes along the discontinuation of their earlier retail FD schemes, that is IND Super 400 days, IND Super 300 days, effective from 8th of May. Next, which of the following recently received the Certificate of Authorization, that is COA, from RBI in May to operate as an online payment aggregator? We just saw what are the online payment aggregator. So PU Payments, they also received the approval to act as a payment aggregator.